Banners on the Wall presents Running with the Herd, Basingstoke Bison versus Peterborough Phantoms, 28th of February, and Basingstoke Bison versus Romford Raiders, Saturday 2nd of March.
Thursday evening. Friday evening.
Right, so on a day later, I'm still hacked off about this game. Basingstoke Bison 1, Peterborough Phantoms 2, and once again I'm left banging my head against the wall. I just don't understand how Bison lost this game. Again, I'm left scratching my head about watching Phantoms hockey, which is, it's effective. I can't deny its effectiveness, but it's soul destroying. It's just so soul destroying to watch. And I did stick out a tweet that I've been struggling to write about this. I've been struggling to write about Phantoms games for a while because they come into Basingstoke and they just do the same thing every time. There's just no attempt to play. It's just such negative, frustrating, blood-boiling hockey to watch. What positives can I at least pull out of this? Jordan Marr had a really good game. Jordan Marr had a very good game, in fact, actually. I think I'm surprised he doesn't have a backache from a John Gibson-esque performance in net for the Phantoms. He's a superlative player. There's obviously going to be discussion soon about who the league MVP is, and whilst I don't think Jordan Marr particularly wins it, I think he's possibly in the discussion. I think he's one of the reasons why Peterborough are doing as well as they are. The other one is actually Alish Padlek, who was the sole sort of real sort of focus of attack and sort of wanted to kind of put the game on his back and kind of do something with it. I thought he had a really good game. Padlek's a player who's kind of defying his age a little bit. Perhaps sort of this new look in IHL 1 is almost kind of like he's arguably a step above what the league is at the moment. And it's, it is what it is. He's a really good player. I mean, he was very good in the old EPL. He's very good now, and I'm interested to see what happens with the Phantoms if Slava Kulikov stays as coach as to when and where Padlek decides to call time. I'm interested, particularly if there's going to be a new Tier 2 league. You'd assume the Phantoms would be a part of that, and that they'd need to adapt and adjust. If they do move into it, particularly if it's going to be a 4 or 5 import league, do you have Padlek with him being a little bit older? Is he your number one import guy? I'm not sure, but could he survive in a Phantoms team if you're wanting a guy to be a number 4 or a number 5 import? Arguably, I think that was pretty good. Otherwise, again, I'm just left bashing my head. The Bison arguably too cute by half in this game. Just trying to play a team that had virtually no interest in attempting to play with them. Just wanting to sit back and disrupt for 60 minutes. And I think actually really this is one of those games where we really missed Richard Bordowski. We kind of needed somebody to kind of go up the gut, be physical, try and cause a few bits of chaos in front of the net. The Bison get their one goal off of off of a really freak play. I actually kind of felt sorry for Jordan Marr in this one, actually, because of all the pretty passing and all the really nice shots that he'd saved, and then he gets beaten essentially by a Gary Owen. The puck hits a stick, loops up in the air, and somehow beats Marr over his shoulder. The Bison were needed to score a dirty goal, and they got an incredibly dirty goal in that one. And it's one of those ones where it's just really frustrating, where I don't think the Bison played particularly badly. And again, maybe it's one of those games where they can be accused of playing hard but not playing smart in that sense. But I don't know, man. People are going to criticise me for this again, and that's fine. I will quite happily take your criticism, but I just do not understand how people can watch that and find it entertaining. It's I'm going to bed.
Saturday evening.
There we go. That's better. Basingstoke Bison 6. Romford Raiders 0. Goals from Ashley Tate, Adam Harding, Michael Kleshner, George Norcliffe, Ross Cowley and Liam Morris. Now, this is what we've been waiting for. A first win for the Bison in a few games, and adjustments. Good adjustments. Cowley, Tate and Morris as a line looks absolutely fantastic. Romford had no clue as to how to deal with them. They heard 4-0 up by the end of the first period from that one. 2 power play goals as well. And Michael Gray chased from the net. Having lost in Romford the week before, this was massive. This was a really, really good win. Bit of a statement win that the Bison, the form is an issue at the moment, but the quality is not. No Bordowski, who's still injured. No Cook, who's on GB international duty. No Danny Ingoldsby as well, reportedly sick, and of course the usual youngster scratches, as it were. But this was so much better. A really full rink as well, which was really nice. A good few Romford fans travelled as well, which was always really nice. Shame apparently loads of them swore being sat right next to the kids, but we'll have to live with that one. And but yeah, just so much better. Just such a refreshing change of pace from the Bison. And again, those change of lines just appear to have done something that has worked. Of course, slightly shorter amount of forwards, meaning that there was that adjustment, and effectively you're kind of playing three lines with Oscar Evans as the extra forward. And of course, he got a fair bit of ice time in the third period. But boy, that was a lot better. That was really nice. Also, a massively increased physical game from Michal Klejna, kind of realising that he needs to kind of, not that he doesn't get stuck in, but with the lack of Bordowski, that there was going to be that need to be a little bit more physical, especially after Thursday night as well in the Cup. And he's just gone out and just played. I thought he had a really good game. Was he man of the match? I'm not 100% sure. I actually probably would have given it to Liam Morris, mostly because I think this might have been Morris's best game. This kind of hockey, business end of the season playoff hockey, is what these guys who played in Canada are wired for. But actually, that line between Tate, Cowley and Morris, I think if Bordowski is injured and potentially done for the year, there's no word that he is, but I'm saying this might be a combination they keep together. The issue for Bordowski coming back is that if he's been out a while, do you maybe put him onto a third line combination? For me, I kind of think at the moment, given how well that line worked, you kind of had to persevere a little bit, particularly at home with Tate, Cowley and Morris. I think that needs to keep going. I think also as well, maybe you need to keep Klejna and Harding together if you're not going to have Tate with Klejna. So then I think you end up kind of it depends who you want to put Bordowski with. Do you put Bordowski with Samford and have them as a sort of more attacking minded third line? Do you put Harding with Bordowski, which I'm not sure works quite as well? It's whether you, for me, I think you try doing Harding with Klejna and possibly Norcliffe. I think Norcliffe has got the ability to be a little bit more physical, try and clear the way for the two arguably more skilled guys. And then you have Samford with Bordowski, and then who you put as that, who you put on that wing. I think probably Hallam Wilson. Hallam Wilson's possibly the better placed kind of guy there to do a bit of way clearing, getting in the way, being a bit niggly. Paul Petts, who was a real rat in this game, and I loved him for it, arguably could go onto that line as well. And you can, if you have everybody fit, or you potentially have the availability of somebody like Rhys McCormick, or you can bring. Whether you bring Cam Buckle into the side or not, I don't know at this stage. Sam Brooks reportedly with a shoulder injury, so he's not an option. But I think certainly I was massively impressed with our top line in this game. I think a little tiny bit of momentum that we appear to have got out of this win can really, really do some stuff going forward. Really excited about it. Just a bad night at the office actually for Romford, all things considered. I think it was they tried to do some stuff and it just did not work. Got blown out of the water in the first period, and it was sort of shut up shop and not get wallops. Some strange moments in this game. Blaslav Novak just like trying to beat people up for no reason, which was a bit of a strange one. And the game did get a bit testy towards the end. You think of there was a very, very bizarre incident as well. Who was it Novak jumped on? It was Elliot Dewey, actually, of course. Elliot Dewey, of all the random people to sort of dive on and try to beat up. It was a bit of a strange one. Had a bit of an altercation as well. With a couple of people during the game. So there was that very bizarre incident where Novak waffled somebody, and then Paul Petts jumped on him. Oh, no, apologies, it was Brandon Ailiff rather than Novak. But yes, it was a bit of a strange one. Like, a few people losing their cool. 17 shots shut out for Alex Metham, not massively tested, but 4 goals and 14 shots for Michael Gray, ending his night after 20 minutes. Ben Clements comes in, gets man of the match. I actually thought Clements did okay. I don't think he was massively tested. I think the Bison were well aware by heading into that second period that the game was very much theirs. But yeah, 3 goals coming off of that top line. Admittedly, Cowley's on the power play. 3 power play goals for the Herd on the night out of the 6. But Cowley from Tate, and the first goal being Tate from Cowley, certainly a good one. More, a decent night all round, I think, for the Herd. Klejna though. Man of the match, 1+4 in a 6-goal game. I think you can rectify yourself to that one as well. Comedy moment of the night, Josh Kelly getting a 2+10, looking mildly incredulous about it. That was quite amusing as well. JJ Pitchley also getting a 2+10. Again, a very strange moment there as well, where Miles off the blade just runs and just waffles Paul Pett's over, nowhere near the play, no idea what's going on. But yeah, that's better from the herd. That's better. Big game on Sunday. Hopefully we can do something with it.
Sunday evening.
Sod this. Where's my cocoa? Thanks for humouring us with this experimental banners on the wall piece here for our Running with the Herd from the NIHL Southland Cup final between the Bison and the Peterborough Phantoms, the first leg from Thursday the 28th of February 2019, and the Bison's home game against the Romford Raiders on the 2nd of March 2019. Usual bits and pieces will return in due course. Bannersonthewall.wordpress.com, your number one source for everything related to the Basingstoke Bison match reports, occasionally in a somewhat experimental style like this. Also as well home to the BOTW podcast at bannersonthewall.wordpress.com/podcast. New episode coming soon. We've got an interview coming up that we think you'll find interesting. The podcast brought to you in association with our friends at Victory Hockey UK, www.wearevhuk.com. T-shirts, hoodies, snapbacks, teamwear. Drop the guys a line and get yourself sorted. The logo for the podcast is designed by our fantastic friend Effie, who you can find on Instagram at EHF_art_design. Facebook.com/bannersonthewall will get you blog and podcast content into your news feeds, but the best place to interact with us, as well as being the home of the newly minted place to be on a Wednesday night for the BOTW What's Current stream, 7 PM on our Twitter account at bannersOTW. As my friend Scotty Wills would say, take care of yourself and someone else. For bannersonthewall.wordpress.com, this is Anthony Russell saying stay safe, and so long till next time.